Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video, and in today's video we will be playing what might be one of the hardest champions in the game, Zed. So I'll be playing Zed in the mid lane, and I'm gonna try to make Zed as easy as possible for you guys to understand, and also for the more advanced players, I'm gonna explain to you guys some real advanced combos and ways to use your shadows. I'll show you guys two builds that you can go for. If you want to skip the builds, there's timestamps in the description to the gameplay. Let me tell you that today's gameplay is really good. Like, you don't want to miss today's gameplay. Give me a second. Yeah. So with Zed, there's two builds. Let me just show them right now. As you can read up top, versus squishies, and then I have a build versus tanks. So let me quickly go over the build versus squishies first. This is what I like to call a lethality build, like pretty much a full lethality build. So you go for a Humos Ghostblade and a Duskblade of Draktar. Lethality means flat armor penetration. I explained it in my Kha'Zix video. You go for items that are really good against squishy enemies. That's why you build it against squishy enemies. You know, when the enemies have like a Lulu support, Jinx ADC, Orianna support, Orianna mid lane, sorry, Evelynn jungle, and then a Baron laner that's also not as tanky. Boom! You slap this build on and you one-shot everyone. Okay, so you go for a Humos Ghostblade, then right after your Humos Ghostblade, actually, like I have it here, but you should go right after Humos Ghostblade, Ionian Boots of Lucidity, because you want that ability haste. Like Zed is all about ability haste. As you can see, all the items give ability haste, 10 ability haste, 10 ability haste, Boots give 15, Black Cleaver 25, Cyrilla's Grudge 15. It's all about ability haste. So you want to get these boots as fast as possible. Right after the Humos Ghostblade. Then you build into the Duskblade of Draktar. Make sure you get the Serrated Dirk first. You want to have that flat 10 armor penetration as fast as possible in the game. Get that before anything. Like, do not get this component of the item. Don't go for this one. Don't go for the Caulfield's Warhammer. Even though it gives ability haste, not worth it. Always, always, always Serrated Dirk. So then you finish off the Duskblade of Draktar. Huge power spike, by the way. Like, your next basic attack is gonna do so much damage because of this. After that, I personally, I'm not saying this is the thing that everyone needs to go for. I personally go for Protobelt. I'll show you during the gameplay why I go for Protobelt. I mean, I can explain it now, but I'll show you. But basically, to have another dash, to get close to the enemy, deal even more damage, and Protobelt deals damage. While it not maybe a lot, if you combine that with your ultimate, your damage is actually going to be multiplied by this certain percentage of your ultimate. More on this later. It sounds a little hard to understand. And it is hard to understand, so I'll tell you more about it later. Third item, so even though you're against squishies, you do want to get a Black Cleaver, because so I've tried going for a Cyrilla's Grudge third item, and while it may be true that you deal more damage, you're gonna have like 0 HP. That is why you pretty much, like, you really need a Black Cleaver, because it gives you 350 bonus max health. This is gonna give you more breathing room, and more health means you can tank longer. Tank longer means you can deal more basic attacks. Dealing more basic attacks means dealing more damage. That's right. So having more damage doesn't necessarily result in you dealing more damage, okay? And that is why you generally, like 99% of the games, you go for a Black Cleaver third item. You're still gonna do a lot of damage, you're gonna shred whatever armor they have, and you're gonna have the tankiness. And as a little bonus, Black Cleaver has more ability than Cyrilla's Grudge. So fourth item, Cyrilla's Grudge. This item is amazing on Zed. It increases the slow of his third ability by like even more. Like, it's gonna slow even more. It's insane. Also, of course, you get it later on in the game, so you're gonna be very likely around level 13 to 15. So you're gonna have a lot of percentage armor penetration from this too. You're literally gonna shred right through the armor of the enemy with this build. Like, armor is non-existent. You're gonna demolish them, unless of course they have like 3 armor items, right? Then you want it to have a different build, which I'll show you later. And then here, Guardian Angel. Last item, Guardian Angel. You want to get it on Zed. You can also go for it as your fourth item if you feel like you don't need the armor penetration. But Cyrilla's Grudge is just an amazing item for Zed. So yeah, you do kind of want to get it. For the runes against squishy enemies, you go for Electrocute. Second rune, I like Brutal, just for the early game harassment in the lane. Third rune, Adaptive Carapace. You don't really want to go for Hunter Titan, because as a Zed, you're not supposed to get stunned too much, right? You get what I mean? Because you have your shadow, your ultimate can avoid any CC. If you're gonna get stunned, you use your ultimate and you avoid the CC. So you don't need Hunter Titan. That's why you go for the adaptive carapace for the early game, because you are gonna need it. Zed may struggle in the early game, in the laning matchup. 4th rune, you do not go for Sweet Tooth, you go for Hunter Genius. As I said, ability haste, ability haste, ability haste. That's the name of the game. So, this is the build for Squishy Zed. Copy this build, name it versus Squishies, and now I have a second build for you guys, versus tanks. So I'll quickly go over it because you already know how to build Zed. The way that you build it is you still go for the Huma's Ghostblade. First reason, because the flat armor penetration is still very powerful in the early game. Second reason, because it gives you bonus movement speed. This is incredibly good on Zed because it allows you to rotate. It allows you to gank, get to dragons fast, like everything. This is the perfect item for Zed. So you still go for a Huma's Ghostblade. Second item, as you can see here, Ionian Boots of Lucidity. But then you get a Black Cleaver. You get a Black Cleaver as your second item, because the enemy has a lot of armor. This one is going to make you tankier as well, so you're going to be very tanky very early on. Then you go for the Cerulea's Grudge, and you're going to shred their armor. The third item is completely, fourth item is completely situational. Does the enemy have a lot of attack damage, or do they have like attack damage assassins, like Rengar, you know, like Lee Sin? Boom, you throw in a Guardian Angel and you tank up that damage. Does the enemy have a buttload of burst damage? While it may seem weird, that stance can be good to delay the damage. I don't really recommend this item. It's not the very best item to go for, but you can go for it if you want to delay the damage. Other item is a Maw of Mormortius. If the enemy has a lot of ability power, you go for the Maw of Mormortius. By the way, you can also go for a Maw of Mormortius in the other build, in the Squishy build. I forgot to talk about it. There's really not many other items that you want to go for on Zed. Like, just the majority of these items suck on Zed. I've seen some people go for Starrick's Gauge on Zed, but nah, I just don't like Starrick's Gauge on Zed, to be honest. It's gonna make you tanky as hell, but it's just not the type of item that you want to go. You want to have more damage. Like, if you want to be a little tankier against burst, go for a Death Stance. For your boots, you still want to get Proto Belt, in my opinion. You can also go for a Stasis Enchant, but as I said, my opinion, Proto Belt. So the runes change here. First rune, Conqueror, not Electrocute, because you're going to be utilizing it more. As the enemies are going to be tankier, you're going to be tankier as well, because you're going to have an early Black Cleaver. So Conqueror allows you to do more damage over time. Second rune, still a Brutal. And then third rune, for some reason I have a Hunter Titan here. Maybe I picked it because I was against like a buttload of CC. But as I said, generally you don't want to get the Hunter Titan. You still want to go for Adaptive Carapace. Hunter Titan, you know, only go for that against like, what would I say? Like a point and click stun. Or like a Nasus, right? Like a Nasus has a second ability to slow you. Stuff like that, right? Like stuff that you can't avoid with your shadows. Then you could go for Hunter Titan. But as I said, Adaptive Carapace is really what you want to be going for. Fourth rune, still Hunter Genius. For your spells, Ignite and Flash, always. So enough about the build. Let's now get into the gameplay. Alright, on to the gameplay. We got your boy Zed. By the way, guys, you know, just reminding you, doing a skin giveaway this month. All you gotta do to enter, you're giving away 15 skins. Put down a comment under this video and any video on December to increase your chances. You know, if you wanna enter. And I'm gonna pick 15 random winners at the end of December. So, let's talk about Zed. Let me tell you about the first thing that you kinda can do on Zed, which can help you with the lane matchup. Because Zed does struggle in the lane matchup pre-level 5. Not the strongest at pre-level 5. So what you can do, and yeah, that, just that, see that? You can throw your first ability on the enemy. This is not gonna be easy, because like a few months ago, they nerfed Zed's first ability. Oh, look at this disgusting little move that I did on the Lee Sin, by the way. I lost a minion, but I delayed Lee Sin's jungle by like 5 seconds. Actually worth it for me, because my jungler is gonna have a massive advantage now. So what you can do as a Zed, I still haven't said, you use your first ability to poke the enemy, right? So as I said, it's hard to do, it's not easy to hit. So how do you make it easier to hit your first ability? Let me give you a few tips on how you can hit your first ability more easily. Because hitting it on a moving enemy from the longest range is incredibly hard, and any good player is gonna dodge it. Like, they're just gonna dodge it. So the first way that you can increase your chances of hitting it is if one of your minions is low. Ooh, that was nice. But if one of your minions is low, Ui, here I realized Oriana had an electrocute actually. I'll talk more about that later, but if one of your minions is low, especially a cannon minion, very likely the enemy will go for it. What does that mean? It means that you can predict where they're gonna move and then hit your first ability for free, right? You're gonna be able to predict it very easily. Oh, I'm struggling in this lane as you can see. I'll tell you later why I'm struggling. The second way that you can do it is if the enemy... let me explain this to you clear. There are certain champions that if they use an ability, they are rooted in their place. For example, when Lux uses her first ability, third ability and ultimate, she's actually rooted in place for a split second. Especially during her ultimate, she's actually rooted in place for like a whole second. So when she uses abilities like that, boom, you throw your first ability in. It's a free hit, right? That's another way that you can get a pretty much free hit. Boom, 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 boom. Nice. Very nice kill, very clean. Oh, got sniped from downtown by the Lee Sin right there. Damn. Dude, that was crazy. He literally sniped me from downtown. So here I'm playing against an Oriana, which is actually quite an annoying matchup. It should be fine though, but this Oriana went for Electrocute to be extra annoying in the lane. So I really can't trade with the Oriana because she has an Electrocute. I have my ultimate here, but I'm not using it because I didn't have my abilities ready. So another thing to understand with Zed, which is actually incredibly important if you want to go from a good Zed to a really good Zed, is shadow management. I said it at the perfect time. This, now what I'm about to tell you right now, is gonna take you probably over 200 games to get right. Probably over 200 games, maybe even more. I think more. So what do I mean with shadow management? So Zed can have two shadows at the same time, right? From his second ability and from his ultimate. Gonna be two shadows and yourself. So it's gonna be like three Zeds. You're gonna have to manage three shadows, hit shurikens from three shadows, and just know where you can go and where you cannot go. This is hard. There is no real shortcut here. What I have to say is practice. Hello? Screen? What's happening? Come back into the game. Don't do me like this now. Don't make my Wi-Fi crash. Oh no, look at this. How tilting. How tilting. How like you'll be pulling your hairs out when this happens. I swear to God. Look at how tilting this is. It's not reconnecting. Ah, 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 I'm back. Pooh. So did you see what happened there? So let's now talk about how I actually killed that Oriana there, because it was an absolutely beautiful kill. So the way that I killed her is, after you use your shadows, which is either your second ability or your ultimate, boom, I hit him, nice. He did get the herald, but after you use them, as you can see, there is like a little timer which goes around them. Your ultimate has a 6-second timer, and your second ability has a 4.5-second timer. So, after you use your ultimate, you have 6 seconds to go back to the initial shadow. You know, your initial position. This may sound all very complicated, but I can't make it easier because this is how Zed works. You can go back. So if you look at that timer, you can basically deal as much damage as you can. Go as far as you can into the enemy. Just, just dive super deep into that turret. Boom, you click on the ultimate button again and you go right back to your shadow. That is how I killed that Oriana. As you saw, it might have looked like a suicide dive with my second ability, right? Like, I used my second ability and I went like way too far under that turret and, I was gonna die for sure. But no, I went back into my ultimate and I survived. I killed the Oriana because I could, and I was looking at my abilities. I saw that I had barely enough time to still use my ultimate to get right back to it. Now, another thing about shadow management is, like, the way that you use your ultimate, there's a million ways, right? Like, you can dive on the enemy, stay on top of them, use basic attacks, or you can use your ultimate. Listen carefully, by the way, you can use your ultimate and immediately reactivate your ultimate, and what's gonna happen, it's gonna put a shadow on an enemy and it's gonna put you back into your position. What that's gonna do, it's not gonna allow you to do as much damage, but it's not gonna allow the enemy to do any damage at all. Like, there's gonna be a shadow in front of them. Your shadow is gonna do the work for you, but your shadow cannot basic attack the enemy. Like, these are all trade-offs that you're doing with Zed that you have to understand. And trust me guys, I cannot make it easier for you guys. What I'm telling you right now is probably as easy as it gets. But it's not easy. It's incredibly hard. You wanna get good at Zed? You gotta put the hours in. And what I actually recommend you, I've made multiple Zed videos, and in some of my videos I actually explain a lot of the combos. In this video I'm not gonna fully talk about the combos. I do have a few more Zed videos on my YouTube channel, which if you haven't seen yet, I really recommend you to watch, because I actually used to be better at Zed than I am right now. Like, I'm really good at Zed right now. Well, pretty good, not really good, but I actually used to be incredibly good at Zed. Like, I remember when I made a Zed video back then, for one video I played like 50 games of Zed in like 2 days. Or 3 days, something like that. And I took the very best game where I applied all the tactics and made a video out of it and used all my knowledge in that one video. Not quite sure which one it is, but I believe I only have like 2 or 3 Zed videos on my YouTube channel. So I really recommend you guys to watch them. By the way, if you enjoy Zed, make sure you give it a like. You know, I check which videos get a lot of likes, and I make new videos on those champions that get a lot of likes, right? I want to do what the viewers want. So there's this quick little poke combo, which is using your second ability to get the shadow to the enemy, and then your third ability to slow them, and then hit 2 shurikens of your first ability. This is a very nice combo, but boom, look at that, he's got one shot. It's a very nice combo, but this combo costs a lot of mana and is quite risky, because you're not always going to be able to hit your first ability for free on the enemy. And if you don't hit any ability twice on an enemy, you're not going to have any mana. So now we're going to get to the next point of Zed. How do you manage your mana or energy or whatever it's called? How do you do that? So with Zed, the way that this mana works is it goes down when you use abilities, and it goes up very slowly but faster than energy, right? Like, it's not like other champions. But when you hit an ability twice on the same enemy, it's gonna regenerate a lot of mana, allowing you to keep using your abilities over and over again. Just like that. See how I just hit 2 of my first abilities on the Lee Sin right there? Look at the Graves, by the way. He's literally just... Wait, let's go back into this video. I want to see what this Graves was doing. Let's take a look. So they're doing... Oh, wait, let's take a look. I want to show you guys how to not play jungle in this game. Take a look at what this Graves is about to do, which pretty much like throws this entire game. Look at this. Fiora is chasing me. My team is doing the dragon. I escaped, sure. Look at the Graves. He abandons the dragon to chase the Fiora. Okay, whatever. He doesn't get the kill. He can go back to the dragon, right? He can go back. Look at the Graves. So this is not only a Zed video, this is also a lesson on how to not play jungle. As a jungler, you never ever want to chase a kill like that when your team is doing an objective, or when your team is contesting an objective. Right there, we lost our smiting champion. We even killed the Lee Sin, so it was a free dragon for us. We were forced in a 4 versus 5 situation because Fiora used a teleport and Graves just... That put us back in this game a lot. Like, we were super ahead. I was snowballing this game, but now we're actually behind. Somehow we're behind in this game. That's so, like, pretty much lost again. Like, I don't want to say lost, but they have a really good late game composition. Look at this, by the way. See how I'm using two abilities? It regenerates my mana, as you can see. So whenever you can, try to hit two abilities on the same enemy. You know, it's not always going to be easy to hit your third ability on the same enemy twice, but your first ability, yes, you need to aim it. You can't always auto aim it now. You know, back then you could always auto aim it because it was so wide, but not anymore. You actually have to aim it now. You know, aim it correctly. And a good tip is try to use your first ability after your third ability. As you can see here, I tried to go back here, but you know, I was very scared, to be honest, right there. I kind of wanted to pop his flash and things like that because my ultimate is only on a 40-second cooldown. But he didn't fall for the bait, as you can see. He didn't fall for it, and yeah. It's still not a waste though, because it's on such a low cooldown. So in the very late game, when you get level 13 on Z, your ultimate is going to be on an absolutely incredibly low cooldown. I think it's like 30 seconds, maybe even like 29, 28, something like that. It's a really, really low cooldown. So you basically just want to use it. Even if it's not the perfect moment, just use it. Because enemies are going to have stasis enchant, they're going to use flash, they're going to use all countermeasures to stop your ultimate. But your ultimate is only going to be on like a 29-second cooldown, so you want to use it. As you can see, right now I have my ult, I'm immediately going to use it, very likely. Boom, on the Akshan, as you can see. I just missed my shurikens, as you can see. When you miss the shurikens, you literally lose all your damage. I tried to get this skill on this guy, unfortunately he used stasis enchant. I got the kill though, nice. I just got a quick little kill on their backline, as you can see. They're trying to kill me. I escape, but the Malphite is waiting for me. He still had his ultimate as well. I was gonna escape if he didn't have his ult. Damn. That's sad. By the way, another thing. There's so many details about Zed. Like, I'm not even telling you half of it. That's the thing. Your third ability has a pretty long cooldown, but each enemy you hit with your third ability is going to reduce the cooldown by 2 seconds. So of course you want to hit as many enemies as you can with your third ability. If you can, just go in the middle of the enemy, use your third ability, and you're going to have it back again in like 1 second, depending on how many enemies you hit, right? So when you ult an enemy in the middle of them, try to use your third ability and at least try to use yourself with the third ability to hit it on all of them, to reduce the cooldown, so you can use it again very quickly. And actually, when you play Zed, just read his abilities. Like, read carefully through his abilities. Like, read every ability 3 times. And I can promise you, each time you read, you're gonna read something new. It's crazy. Like, he has so many details in his abilities. Like his passive, his basic attacks do more damage when an enemy is low. The thing that I said about the third ability, the second ability, the way that the ultimate works, it's just everything. Read it and fully, like, you have to understand every part of Zed and make use of every part. Why are we not going to the dragon, by the way? Look at my team. My Graves, yet again, is just... This guy, what is he doing? I hate blaming other people, but what is he doing? Like, I'm pinging everyone to go, but no one is just going. No one cares. Oh. Not quite enough damage. Yeah, not quite enough. Oh, we still killed him. Nice. As you can see, you are gonna kind of fall off. The later you get into the game, you're gonna fall off damage-wise. The only reason that you can still keep up in the late game is because your ultimate is gonna have such a low cooldown. So you can basically constantly spam your ultimate. You can use your ultimate twice every team fight, maybe even 3 times if the fight goes on for very long. So that's kind of what keeps Zed going. Having your ultimate up, like, as you can see, boom, boom, look at that damage. I just did so much damage to the whole backline. Boom, another kill. I'm just carrying this team on my back right now. Ah, it's an AP Malphite, so I can't go for him. Ah, he flashed, yeah. He just flashed on me. He just killed me. I could have reacted a bit faster and actually flashed away myself. I just didn't want to waste my flash, which ended up costing my life. Pretty stupid of me. Just really didn't expect him to flash, to be honest, so I was caught off guard. This game is really rough. Like, we screwed up so hard at that second dragon. That's pretty much what got us so behind. Well, we're not even super behind, but we're pretty behind. While we were like super ahead in the early game, I had 8 kills and only 1 death, I think. now like that Graves really screwed up this game for us, to be honest. We should have been at the dragon. Or like I shouldn't have even engaged. Like I shouldn't have even contested the dragon because my Graves was just chasing a Fiora. So I shouldn't have even gone for it. But look what I'm trying to do here. I saw someone in the top lane. I saw the Akshan. I thought that he was gonna rotate, but he didn't. I thought that it was a free kill, but he didn't rotate, unfortunately. So I wasn't able to get the kill. As a Zed, in the late game especially, your real power comes from picking off enemies. So instead of me engaging in that fight right there, as you saw, I was trying to kill the Akshan right there. Because I thought Akshan... Oh, that's a lot of damage. That's a kill. Yeah, that's definitely a kill. I saw that the Akshan might have been rotating, so I tried to go for the kill. Yeah, like you can see, it's so hard to play the game right now. So hard. Elder Dragon spawning soon too. They have the Baron. We need to kill them. Like the only way to survive this game right now is if we kill them. We need to kill them off because they have the Baron. That's a good poke, by the way. Look at that. Zed, just the poking that Zed offers is insane as well. I have my ult too, which I am gonna use just to make sure. The reason that I used my ultimate is because Lee Sin could have used his second ability to go over the wall. He was actually unlucky and was stuck in the wall, so that's why it didn't really work out for him. And I'm dead. Yep. It's like we've reached the late game. Akshan is so powerful, and like it's just hard. It's hard to play against these champions as a Zed. The Elder Dragon is spawning in 12 seconds as well. We obviously have to go for this one. Honestly, I really feel like even though the Elder Dragon is a game-ending objective, of course, I actually feel like it's just a little too much. Like, you know, of course it needs to be strong, but it's just like too much. It's, you know, maybe they should reduce the true damage, or maybe they should change the way it works. Like, it's, come on, man. This true damage, like, sure, the buff is really good, you know, like having a lot of, yeah, they got the Elder right away. Like, them getting a lot of bonus damage from it is already really strong. But the true damage is the real game changer. Like, even if you have tanks and stuff like that, the true damage is just gonna shred right through you. Like, look at that. One first ability of the Fiora deals 30% of my HP in damage. How is that like? That's crazy. The Elder Inferno is so powerful. But the thing is with Zed, you can still one-shot the enemy, right? Like, I still have the potential to one-shot the enemy, which I'm gonna try to do, of course. So, my initiation to the fight, I'm looking for the Orianna or something like that to one-shot. I want to one-shot them with my ultimate. So there is an Orianna, I lock onto the Orianna, boom, 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 and boom, I still killed her. Even though she used her stasis enchant, I utilized my shadows to still kill her, as you can see. So even if the enemy uses stasis, if you're able to stick on that enemy with your shadows, you're still gonna do enough damage. Just because, like, hitting the enemy with 3 shadows, or sorry, yourself and 2 more shadows, deals so much damage that you don't even need your ultimate to kill most enemies, really. It deals so much damage. I mean, I cannot do anything against the Malphite. Even though he's AP, he's just way too tanky. And he deals way too much damage. Oh, this guy I can though. Ah, he used his flash? Just look at how much damage he has. I dealt so much damage to him regardless. But he just has too much damage. Like, I can't. I actually can't. I just can't do anything. They have way too much damage. Damn. You can clearly see, like, a super winning game in the early game can just change in the late game if you make these bad objective calls. Objectives are so damn important in this game, man. But especially, you know what's even more important? The team fights around the objectives. Like, if it doesn't matter if the enemy gets the dragon or if we get it, it's really about like them killing all of us. Because they did kill all of us, and that's really what got them ahead. Like, you know, we were forced in a 4 versus 5 situation because our Graves was not there. Fiora teleported to her own team. That caused the 4 versus 5 situation, which we lost. So That's the real game killer, right? Not the dragon. So that's why I said I should have probably like not even engaged the dragon. Whatever, like our graves made a mistake. Who cares? I shouldn't have committed to it anyways, because it was such a disadvantageous position for us. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let's take a look at how much damage I did and everything like that. You know, all the interesting stats. That was a sad game though. That was a pretty sad game. Damn. Yeah. Our Caitlyn was actually pretty good, as you can see. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yeah, I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.